This year, Scarlett Bordeaux wrestled her first televised match with the WWE, which is very surprising given she's been with the company for over a year combined and is a very sound wrestler. And a lot of people might not realize this, but before WWE, Scarlett was having a run in Impact Wrestling, which was shaping up to be a really good run, but ended abruptly due to controversy and disputes with Impact Wrestling. But what actually happened? How was her run in Impact Wrestling, and what led her to exiting Impact Wrestling and heading to the WWE? What's up guys, it's Greg or Topton Wrestling here, and today we're going to be watching back Scarlett Bordeaux's Impact Wrestling run and discuss how it came to an end. Like and subscribe, I'll give you until the count of 3 to do that. And let's begin. Match numero uno from TNA One Night Only Knockouts Knockdown 2014, it's Scarlett vs Angelina Love, aka Scarlett's one TNA match. Scarlett looks different here. Her hair is orange and she's playing like a partier gimmick, carrying out a red solo cup and just being a lot more upbeat and more hyper. Angelina comes out with Velvet Sky and they get on the mic and run down Scarlett, but then Angelina says that Scarlett is dressed like them and asks the crowd if they think she'd be a great third Beautiful People member. Velvet goes to show her how to do the booty shake, and then Angelina attacks her from behind, and then Angelina is beating her down while just running her down on the mic. It's fairly predictable who was going to win this match. Angelina dominates her most of the match. Scarlett does get some offense in, but doesn't really get a chance to showcase her skills at all, and Angelina wins it in about 5 minutes with a big boot. Angelina pretty much destroyed her, so yeah, not a great start or ending for Scarlett in TNA. So like I said, this would be Scarlett's only TNA match, but she would come back to the company when they renamed to Impact, now under her real name of Scarlett Bordeaux. Well, not her real name, but the name she was always using in wrestling, yeah. And for a while, she would just kind of linger around, seducing male wrestlers, hosting a talk show, doing a talent search which she won, a striptease with Scott Steiner, before she would finally have her first match in Impact. As we go to match number 2, Impact Wrestling Against All Odds Special in 2019, Scarlett Bordeaux vs Glenn Gilberti, the man formerly known as Disco Inferno. What a random match to have. Before the match, Glenn gets on the mic and gives her the opportunity to call it off and says it's no shame. Scarlett's music hits and she comes out, prompting Glenn to say, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And then Scarlett says, "Shut up and wrestle, turkey boy." And Glenn says he's gonna show that a woman cannot be the man. Ooh, little did he know that Becky Lynch would come along. Bell rings, schoolboy from Scarlett, and she very nearly wins it before immediately clearing the ring. Scarlett mocks it, but then Glenn axes her down, but Scarlett gets back into it quickly with a stunner and then a crossbody off the top rope. But Glenn once again takes her down with power as he takes control back of the match as he toys with her. Scarlett makes a comeback though and starts taking it to Glenn. She hits a stink face and then a stunner for a near fall, but then Glenn hits a side Russian and the Village People's elbow. He goes for 10 punches in the corner, but is power bombed, and then Scarlett wins. Scarlett has beaten Glenn Gilberti in a fun little match and a good little stick it to the heels, you know. Scarlett sure showed him. Scarlett would then from here get into a tag team with Fallah Bahh after making a save for him, and they would start feuding with the Desi Hit Squad, which brings us to match number 3, April 19th, 2019 Impact, Scarlett Bordeaux and Fallah Bahh versus the Desi Hit Squad of Rohit Raju and Raj Singh. Fallah and Rohit start off, the size difference proves to be too much for Rohit, so the big man Raj is tagged in as the fans chant Baldy, but Fallah is just as dominant against him too, as Scarlett is tagged in. Raj refuses to fight her and tags in Rohit, who is also refusing to fight her and tells her to leave. The two just don't want to fight Scarlett, so Fallah is forced to get tagged back in as he goes back to dominating them, but finally Raj gets the big man down and the match heavily slows down as Desi Hit Squad take control of the match. Fallah makes the hot tag, Scarlett finally gets in and goes for a dive, but is stopped by Rohit, who she starts taking it to. Fallah hits a dive to the outside, followed by a cross body from Scarlett. Scarlett looks to stink face Raj, but Rohit pulls him out because he wants it. He shuts his eyes and gets it from Fallah instead. Unlucky mate, mission failed, we'll get him next time. Scarlett and Fale hit a double middle rope splash on Raj to pin and win. Fun stuff once again. This Scarlett run has been really unique so far. Nothing like it I've ever seen before. Next match, Scarlett's first pay-per-view match from Impact Rebellion 2019, it's Rohit Raju versus Scarlett Bordeaux. Scarlett immediately starts scratching him, and then Rohit takes her down, but Scarlett stomps on him and then hits a baseball slide on Raj before being side Russianed into the hardest part of the ring. Rohit takes control and is toying with her, but he is slapped and spat on by Scarlett, who begins her comeback with chops and a tilt-a-whirl into a crossface. Rohit starts to make a comeback, but Scarlett hits a huge German and then dives to the outside onto the Desi Hit Squad. Gamma distracts the official as Raj takes her down, and Rohit looks to hit the stink face on her, but Scarlett low blows him and plants him with a dead eye to win the match. Another fun match once again. This Scarlett run has been really fun, really funny, and Scarlett has just made fools out of Desi Hit Squad completely. Next match, a 10 knockouts battle royal. The winner is a #1 contender for a knockouts title. There's Tessa, Jordan Grace, Kiera Hogan, Glenn Gilberti, and others. This match is pretty much what you'd expect from a battle royal. Glenn Gilberti on the mic craps on women's wrestling and is obviously beaten up by all the women at the start for his troubles. It's a while before any eliminations take place, but there are some cool spots, such as a brutal pile driver from Grace to Solo Darling. Tessa scores the first eliminations on Carissa Riviera and Ashley Vox, and then Solo Darling eliminates Tasha Steelz before being eliminated by Jordan Grace, which Solo Darling really impressed me in this match, so I need to see more of her because this is my first time watching her. Tessa then presses Alicia Edwards over the top rope and dumps her onto the woman on the floor, who kind of had to wait there awkwardly to catch her. Kiera then scores a huge upset elimination on Grace. We're down to our final four, and our girl Scarlett is still there, who helps to eliminate Madison Rayne along with Tessa, leaving it down to Scarlett, Kiera, and Tessa. But Scarlett hits a huge powerbomb and a crossbody onto Tessa. Looks like she's really in control, but then Kiera manages to eliminate Scarlett, and then Tessa eliminates Kiera, and then Glenn Gilberti gets back in, takes down Tessa, and tosses her out to win. Less said about the finish the better, but it was a fine battle royal and Scarlett did pretty good. So following this, Scarlett would return to teaming with Fale, who was in the midst of a feud with OVE, and this would lead to Scarlett's final match in the company. It's Jake and Dave Christ of OVE versus Scarlett Bordeaux and Fale Bar. Callahan and Fulton are rejected early, which is a shame because I would have loved to see some interaction between them and Scarlett. Imagine Scarlett taking down Madman Fulton. Would have been awesome. Jake and Dave make frequent tags whilst they absolutely dominate Fale and are in control to start the match. Fale is trying to make the hot tag to Scarlett, but the Chris just won't make it happen, and just as he's about to make the tag, Dave Chris pulls Scarlett off the apron. They're really portraying Scarlett as strong here, like making the other team scared of her to be tagged in, like really good stuff here. Scarlett is finally tagged into a big pop and she absolutely takes it to both members of OVE. Tilt-a-whirl, stink face, double crossbody, vintage Scarlett. Fale Bar dives onto the outside onto them, Scarlett hits a senton onto them, and the two are firmly in control. OVE then go for the Doomsday device though, but Scarlett hits the reverse Rana, and then her and Fale hit the Doomsday on Dave for a huge near fall. The two then go for their double team middle rope splash thingy majig, but Dave moves out the way, punches out Fale with a roll of quarters and wins the match for OVE. Good match once again though. Scarlett looked great once again, and she finished her Impact career never being pinned or submitted other than the one TNA match. But yes, unfortunately, this was Scarlett Bordeaux's last match, as she would leave TNA or Impact Wrestling very abruptly following this match. Scarlett Bordeaux was in Impact Wrestling with Killer Kross, who is of course her partner, and Killer Kross was having some contractual disputes with Impact Wrestling. Essentially, he was trying to get out of his contract, wanted to leave the company, Impact were denying it, and there was some bad blood between the two parties, and eventually Scarlett obviously wasn't happy with that and decided she wanted to leave too. She was originally denied as well, but eventually both of them were granted their release. Apparently it got so bad to the point that Impact were telling AAA not to book them while they were both working for Impact, which is pretty crazy, but they did manage to get out of there and are of course now in the WWE. Impact Wrestling might have denied Killer Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux's release requests, but please don't deny my request to subscribe and like the video right now.